Hello, I'm Ngaire McDiarmid from Mining Journal, and today I'm speaking with Siobhan Lancaster, the Managing Director of 92 Energy, which is focused on its uranium discovery in Canada's Athabasca Basin. Siobhan, welcome. And firstly, if we look at the big picture, the uranium spot price has been rising. Companies like Sprott have been buying up physical reserves. Where do you see the market headed?
Well, thanks for having me on your program. It's great to be here. Look, I think we're in a really exciting time in the uranium cycle at the moment. Certainly with Sprott entering the market with their SPUT fund, where we're seeing the purchase of uranium on the market, and 40 million pounds have been purchased to date. So this is having an enormous implication for the market and the spot price, and certainly is mopping up all that excess inventory that's in the market. So it's a very interesting time. And then we have, of course, electricity growing 75% to 2050. So this is an enormous growth in electricity. So the long-term demand drivers with that, as well as decarbonisation, play very well into the hands of the nuclear industry. And of course, the uranium price will do very well as a result of that. I think we've just had some very big announcements. China has announced that they'll be building 150 nuclear power stations in the next 15 to 20 years, which is huge for the market. We've also had announcements out of France who are looking to further build small modular reactors. This is not included in the WNA's demand forecast. So we already had this supply shortfall coming into the market. And now with these big demand stories, it's an incredible time to be in the uranium space. And I think what makes this so different to the last cycle is that it's a much more global push towards nuclear power because of the decarbonisation story. So last cycle, it was really driven by China and the demand coming out of China. This cycle, it's really quite global. I mean, we've even had the UK come out and announce that they'll be building small modular reactors. So it's a very global story, and I think we'll hear more and more countries are sort of going down the path of nuclear, particularly with this energy crisis that we've just had in Europe, which of course has had a significant impact on the price of electricity in Europe. And this has sort of made people stand back and realize that, yes, renewables are great for meeting decarbonisation goals, but not so good to have renewables with no baseload energy attached to it. So really, that is what nuclear is very good at. It's providing carbon-free baseload energy 24/7. And that's what makes it so compelling. And particularly with the small modular reactors coming into the market, they're safe, they're new technology, they're easy to roll out. And I think this is going to have huge long-term implications for the market. So it's a very exciting time for us in the market at the moment.
Well, looking at 92 Energy specifically, what do you believe makes it stand out from other uranium explorers?
Well, thanks. I mean, we listed in April of this year, and we've had tremendous success straight off the bat. So we went and listed this company in the Athabasca Basin or with projects in the Athabasca Basin. And the whole aim was to go and explore new parts of the Athabasca Basin. And we were very successful straight off the bat by discovering the Gemini mineralized zone. So that was our fourth hole ever. And we discovered 5 meters of uranium at 0.12%. So just for some context, this is a very good first hole and very similar to some other massive discoveries in the basin. For example, Arrow had 5 meters at 0.3%. So this really gives us, a lot of hope that the follow-up drill program is going to be a very good one. And of course, the market would have noticed that Baseload drilled 400 meters from our hole, and they've also found their way into the mineralized system and had elevated radioactivity, which one could assume is uranium as well. And so it's a very exciting, large mineralized system. So that is what really separates us. Obviously, we had the technical capabilities to get out there and find that discovery straight away. And, it's going to be very fun following it up and drilling it. and seeing what's out there. So this is potentially providing tremendous upside for our investors going forth, because uranium discoveries is really where investors make the most amount of their money in this market. So I can give you an example. In the last market, I worked for Extract Resources, who of course discovered the Rossing South uranium deposit, which is now known as HUSAB. And that company went from a market cap of 3 mil to 2 bill. So it really does show the upside that companies can have if they have a significant discovery. And I very much hope that's what we're onto at this stage. And, to do it so early in the company cycle is absolutely tremendous. So very excited to get out there and follow up drilling. And we've really got the team now to implement the strategy going forward. So it's a very exciting time for the company.
Well, you've mentioned it is early days, obviously, Siobhan, but what do you believe the significance is at this stage of your GMZ discovery?
Yeah, look, I mean, as I said, it is a first hole, but the fact that the alteration in the hole goes from the very top of the hole to the very bottom of the hole, so almost 300 meters of alteration, hydrothermal alteration, shows that a big system mineralization or big system is moving through that area. And, we would hope that that system's got some uranium associated with it. Obviously does, with that amount of uranium that we've already discovered, but it's also got some big structures running through the system as well. So there's three things that you really need to have a big discovery in the basin, and one being structures, the second being the alteration, and the third being the mineralization. So we've got all three ingredients. And of course, this is a basement hosted uranium deposit. So this means that we're dealing with really competent rocks. They're near surface. Gemini is in the perfect part of the basin. It's on the eastern side where all the infrastructure is located. So really, we couldn't have found a better first hole than what we found. And, it could prove up to be something quite significant. So, the next drilling season is really going to tell us what's there. And of course, the uranium market being hot at the moment as well, the timing is absolutely perfect. So, it's very exciting.
Well, you mentioned having the right ingredients, Siobhan, and another factor, of course, is the funds. And 92 Energy has more than 10 million in the bank at the moment. So looking ahead to 2022, what do you have planned for the coming months?
Yeah, thanks. So we've put together what we think is a very good drilling program. We're actually starting with some roadworks in the next couple of weeks to prepare those winter roads for coming into the Gemini. We'll be drilling 6,600 meters as an initial program, and we're hoping to get out into the field as quickly as we can. So, it could be any time from early January to mid-January, weather dependent, of course, being in the Athabasca. And we're hoping to drill all around the Gemini zone, as well as having a second drill rig, which will be doing some regional drilling. So we'll be drilling the extension of Gemini, which is a 1.8 kilometre trend to the north. And that looks absolutely fantastic. It's got some low magnetics as well as a conductor. So low magnetics can be inferred to be alteration. So of course the drill rig will be the test of whether that theory is correct or not. But it looks very positive with all the geophysics and mapping at the moment. And then we've got two other areas that we're going to be drilling as well. In the Gemini project. They've had previous drill holes done based on air photo lineaments, and they actually just marginally missed where the conductor was because this was pre geophysics. So they were drilled, way back before they had these advanced geophysical techniques that we're using now. So the very interesting thing about that is we can go out there and we can drill these holes which had alteration in them, and one of which had low mineralization in it as well. So there's lots of upside there on the regional drilling as well as the direct zone of Gemini. And of course, if winter proves to be longer than, what it was last season, we'll keep drilling, maybe even more than the 6,600 meters that's planned. So we will certainly be adjusting our program as we go, depending on, how things are going on site.
Well, all the best, Siobhan, and thank you very much for the update today.
Thanks. Appreciate being here. Thanks.